see Zev stuff. And the first book you were telling about, it was reminding me, I can't remember I had read a book from a POW who had been somewhere in Vietnam or one of the camps. And he'd been there for 5 years, and he was talking about the death of people. And he said the only people who died were the people who stopped believing they would ever get rescued.
Yes.
He says once you lose that belief in a better ending,
Yeah.
something to reach for, you no longer want to live. You lose your will to live. So we
Yeah.
we really need to create that ending, that this is why we want to keep going on
Yes.
all the
Yeah.
time. Something to
That
strive for.
that is so right. I have my great mentor and friend was a man called Eugene Heimler, and I learned much of what I use and write about now in emotional fitness from him. He was a survivor of various concentration camps, including Auschwitz. And that's almost exactly word to word, Rob. That's what he told me. The
Wow.
people who survived were able to do two things. They were able to delve into their happy past and able to look at a future. Because if you dealt with the present, you could not survive. And that's what my man in that book, Solitary, recognizes.
Isn't that something?
Yeah. Yeah.
Sort of like, I was trying to explain to somebody the other day about you stand in a parade. If you're standing at the parade, all you see is what's right in front of you.
Yeah.
But if you go back and you stand on the hill and you watch the whole parade, you can see what's coming and where it goes at the end. And sometimes if we just change our perspective a bit, step back, we can start to realize it's not quite as bad or quite as good as we think. Both can be overwhelming. We can think, oh, this is it, I've made it. And then
Yeah.
all of a sudden the big crash, you don't see it coming. This is terrible, life is awful, then things get better. So it's not, none of that is true. It's only just a moment in our whole perspective of
Yeah.
things. Right?
Our life is just our perspective of it.
Yeah.
And that's what we can change.
And
That's
then
what we
pretty
can
much, isn't that what scripture is? They've
Yeah.
been writing for years. The perspective, look, get a perspective. Here's the
Yeah.
whole big picture. If you take the time to actually go through the Bible and look at the stories and the perspective of it, they're sort of stepping back saying, look, if you do this, you go down this path, you do this, you go down this path. And people miss that about all the stories in the Bible and the incredible knowledge you can get out of that stuff.
Yeah. That's some of the best stories ever. They're in the
incredible.
Yes.
These stories, right?
Yes.
But that I get so much out of those things. People miss all that stuff because they get so worried about the biases of everything that they don't bother to even look into any of it. And that's too bad, I find.
Right.
And same on the other side. Like I read a lot. I don't know if you ever read the Tao or the Tao Te Ching or any of this stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But incredible writings and knowledge and stuff, ideas of how to move forward in life and take out the hard struggles of your life.
Yeah.
If you took the time to pay attention to any of it, you can make a difference.
Absolutely, yeah, and I think that's what writing can do for us, whatever the source. I mean, I write some poetry, and when I hear other people's poetry or read other people's poetry, wow, in a few lines, what insights one can get. So yeah,
I'm dabbling in it, and I can't stop. I'm addicted
no,
to it
right.
now. But I go out every morning and watch the sunrise, and I write what I think, and it sort of works out into a prose or poetry. But there's something transforming about the whole thing.
Yes, yeah. How we look at it.
I think everybody should write out where they want to go, what they're trying to get to, so that they start to have an understanding of what is I actually want to do.
Yeah.
Just get a little bit of glimpse, and then you have a place to move forward to, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And the power of writing itself is such that it can do exactly that, change one's perspective and understanding, and therefore one's life. And if
I always tell everybody, you're watching TV and Netflix, you're seeing somebody else's stories.
Yeah.
What's your story? What's your story?
We each have amazing, remarkable stories.
It's incredible.
And let's get them out. Not everyone can write them out.
No.
But in some creative way, my wife uses the medium of art. Yeah, we can use whatever we do in our work, in our pastimes. We can express ourselves, and all we need to be doing is be conscious of that's what we're doing, and then it makes a difference.
Incredible thing. I mean, so many people on this sort of I call it my awakening of life. Of people are on this journey of like, how do I make myself better so that the world can be a better place to live?
Exactly.
It's incredible.
Yeah. Yeah, we think we're totally powerless to change anything in the world, which is not in a very good state, let's face it right now. But we have immense power to be able to change ourselves in it, and therefore that changes the world.
Yeah. Well, what Marcus Aurelius says, we're colored by our life is dyed by the color of our thoughts. So
Oh, nice,
that's
nice
really the way
clarification.
to
Yeah.
think about it. How do we think and how do we think about it? And I catch myself sometimes, I try never to watch the news or all that stuff on TV. I try to stay away from it all now because it's a narrative, right? It's a, this is happening, that's happening. And
Yeah. Yeah.
why not just pay attention to what's actually happening around you?